Okay. Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of Meeting the Beloved. And this is a combination presentation. We could call it a podcast. I don't care what you call it, but it's a communication option for those of us in our soul group who are in the experience of sacred union, which comes under the umbrella for us of meeting the beloved, because it can happen in so many different ways. It is happening in so many different ways. So welcome, and thank you for watching. We've been getting a really good response on YouTube with this opportunity to share our experience. And we're in another major wave, and people are popping, unions are popping all kinds of ways, all kinds of directions, all kinds of places. So joining me today are two wonderful women who are part of the soul group, and they are going through a union experience in their own unique ways. And we're going to talk again specifically about what that looks like. Each time we've done the Meeting the Beloved, we focus on a couple of topics that we find are common themes, not only within our soul group, but also with other people we're aware of who are in union at varying stages, from just figuring out what's going on here, exactly what is happening to me, to, as Anastasia and her partner David, who you've seen before, are living together in conscious partnership, and they are really at the kind of the far end of the wave, actually embodying sacred union as two human beings, male and female as it happens to be. And then Cynthia is in the beautifully colored shirt. Say hi, Cynthia.
Hi.
Cynthia is also in the sacred union vibration and dynamic, and she's coming from the perspective of being a widow. So we want to get across to you that this is a very inclusive soul journey, spiritual process, transformational experience. And we hope to bring that home for you today in episode 3. Like pin the tail on the time donkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty interesting.
It
Okay.
is really interesting, and to just let that be, and get on, just be on with my life, instead of, hanging around waiting or something. Into that.
Yeah, this journey is not about waiting at all for anything. I'm glad you said that, because with the flow, with the, it so goes against our culture to not pin the tail on the donkey.
Right.
Just say, I don't know, it could happen, and I'm feeling something, but I can't tell you, when it's going to show up. I think that's a wonderful adjustment that we make the more deeply we go into this journey. And as we're making that adjustment, we're still feeling our intention around co-creating something, but we're dropping our expectations. At least that's how it's been for me, of thinking we're going to control that, or we're going to be heavy-handed in what it looks like, beyond being really clear about what our own intentionality is.
Yes.
And so I feel that part of how I'm experiencing this journey is, aside from the inner work, which is forever, and the expansion, which is forever, and the in-breath of taking in information and reshuffling your own deck is your own inner co-creative process. And there you are again, also forever, because like how many cycles of that have we been through? Just since with the three of us have been together. Like thousands already, right? It's thousands. It's got to be in the thousands by now. Yeah?
For sure.
And we keep adding people. So we're adding to that, you know, kind of amazing flow of different energies and big and small co-creations. It's a wonderful, wonderful journey. So I think I'd like to maybe go into our next common theme that we're aware of within our own soul group anyway. And we hear this, I hear this from other people as well, is the experience of shared sensations across time and space with partners or people in the soul group, shared awareness, shared perception, getting a memo across time, space, and distance. And I think it's fun to allow us to explore the ways in which that process unfolds and how we are in our own energy fields, how that differs. So Cynthia and I had a conversation recently where we were talking about when energy comes in as information, depending on how we are in all of our subtle energy bodies and which ones we tend to favor, then energy comes in and it will flow into our favored subtle energy body that allows us to take the information and translate it. So Anastasia is so kinesthetic. She's does massage. I mean, this woman is like hands-on, body work. And so her perception seems to come in as a feeling in her body memo. Cynthia is visual, and I think you described, Cynthia, that you're more emotional, and then the visuals like on the tail end of the emotional. My end is, I don't know how to describe how I tend to kind of get it all in like a big meatball. And then I have to sort it out because it's all coming in a gestalt. And depending on where I am or what the information is, my energy field will guide me. All right, let's take this to the mental body. Or, oh, we got to feel this at the emotional level. Or, oh, this is kinesthetic. Or, oh, you know, there's another way to translate this information. And I always want to make sure I get it clear. So I think all of us, though, eventually move the information through all of our perceptual centers. Okay, so now that I've given you a lesson in how you perceive and discern, possibly, let's hear from Anastasia. Like, when you get a memo, describe for us how it moves through you.
You know, it is very kinesthetic, and I think that's developed out of obviously my work and touching people. So it can be really strong, and I really like what you said about, you know, depending on where you're at, you know, that day, how much of that you actually get. Are you having a day, you know, or am I having a day where I need to kind of, you know, bubble up a bit more? Or is it a day where I'm pretty flowing and pretty open and I can receive a lot of information? And so when I could see somebody on my table every day, and I'll just have a different experience. And also, sometimes I think it literally depends on the person that's on my table and how open they are, because that can vary as well. So sometimes I feel like if I find somebody who has abilities and they may not even be aware of their ability, that it's that's an ability, it kind of heightens mine and I get more information. So it's very kinesthetic. It comes in, I can feel it inside my body as a sensation. It can be pain, but usually I'm not usually going to be feeling pain to the degree that they are, or I'll have a tinge of like a kind of like a, it's right here, it's body, and it's very specific, so I can go right to that point. I do get visuals. I can sometimes really see exactly what it is. I'll get a little story about where it came from for them in terms of their own history. Or I'll hear every once in a while, I'll get a direct message. So those are the main things. Now, I'm not always touching people. So, of course, those other abilities help because, yeah.
So do you find it's the same way in your partnership with David, or does it unfold differently?
Yeah, that's a good place to describe it, because I can get it in a lot of different ways with him. It doesn't have to be hands-on with him. Hands-on's a lot. I mean, I can just be in his field. Sometimes all I need him to do is just move into my field, and I swear that fixes my computer or any problem I'm having. And if I can't see him, like, I just have to have him come near, and I can. Oh, there it is. I can figure it out.